Hello everyone, my name is Danny Jimenez and my partner is Veronica Paniagua. Today we will be discussing our mathematical model, which is base 10 blocks. What is base 10 blocks? So it's a manipulative that is used to teach basic math concepts. Some of these include addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, place value, number sense, counting, and decimals. How does this help students? Basically, base 10 blocks allow students to physically represent the numbers they're learning. By doing so, it allows students to see the logical development of each operation. So we've got blocks, rods, flats, and cubes. For blocks, each block represents a single unit, and that is used to build up onto rods. Rods equal to 10 unit blocks. Then we have flats, which is equal to 10 rods or 100 blocks. And cubes is 10 flats, which equals to 1,000 units. So concepts of CRA, we've got concrete, representative, which is semi-concrete, and abstract. So in the concrete, this is the doing stage, the hands-on. We use these models here to the right. We've got ones, we've got tens and hundreds. We see how these ones collectively together end up as a 10, and then how that becomes our flat to make these hundreds. The representational, or also known as semi-concrete, this is a scene stage. So you draw your models based on the concrete. So we've got your hundreds, your flats. We've got your rods, which are your tens. And then we've got your blocks, which are your single units. And lastly, the abstract. So this is a symbolic stage. Here we use numbers and mathematical symbols to represent the numbers we talked about. So here we've got 100 plus 20 plus 4 equals 124. And here they're broken down into hundreds, tens, ones, giving us a total.
So our base 10 block activity is called Race to 100. This is a first grade activity. In this activity, it is a game where a pair of students will roll a die. They will then use their base 10 blocks to represent the number that they rolled, and then they'll rotate turns between each partner. Now the goal is to be the first student to reach the number 100. This activity can be used in person as well as virtually. In person, you'll use table partners, or the teacher will specifically assign students who, potentially one student who is stronger in math, counting using base 10 blocks and place value, with a student who is not so strong in this subject area, and it can also help them get through the activity a little easier with that peer help and that peer guidance. Now, virtually, this activity can be done in breakout groups. So the teacher will put two sets of students as well with the same mindset of either their table groups by numbers, or students who work well together who can help each other during this activity. Put them in breakout rooms, send them the links, and have them work together. Or it can also be directed that they can use a family member, friend, whoever is in their household at the time, and do this activity with them. And then record what they are doing, record their work and how they did it and all that. So step 1 is to click the link to roll the dice. So it's an online dice for classroom. Just as a side note, this allows you to actually increase the number of dice you want to roll. But for this activity, we're only using 1. So you'll click roll, and it lands on the number 5. So then our next step, step 2, is to click the link to then represent that number with base 10 blocks. Now this is a base 10 blocks online manipulative. This site actually allows you to do quite a lot with base 10 blocks, as well as equations, drawing, and so on and so forth. So you can actually click on this little keypad here, and it allows you to actually insert numbers and create equations. There's also a drawing tool, so you can actually draw your base 10 blocks, draw numbers, write, whatever, so on and so forth. So there is a start over button to clear all your work. We rolled the number 5, so we want 5 blocks. We can even change the color of the selected blocks to make it easier for students to see what they're representing if you want to change the colors of your manipulatives, so on and so forth. We don't know. So we have 5. So going back, our step 3 is to continue rotating turns until someone reaches the number 100. The goal is to be sure to check your work, ask for help if needed, either if it's peer help or teacher help, and then encourage your partner and work together. Even though this is a game to see who gets to 100 first, we also want to make sure that ourselves and our partner is counting properly using the right base 10 blocks that represent the correct number that we rolled, and so on and so forth. So there is also a second activity. This can be used for 1st through 5th grade. And this activity is a website that is a virtual practice for base 10 blocks. So there is 2 options on this website. The first option is to count the base 10 blocks being shown and figure out what number is being represented. The second option asks to choose and drag over which base 10 blocks represents the number being shown. Pretty much similar to the activity that we were just doing. So this is the count blocks option. It gives you a different set of numbers to work with. We'll click the 10 to 50. So here it shows us rods and blocks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rods. So that's a total of 50. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks, which gives us a total of 6. So 50 plus 6, 56, enter, and it tells us we got the answer correct. Now it also tells you if you got an answer wrong, but it does allow you to keep trying until you get the correct answer. So then we have our second option, which is to move the blocks. For this one, we'll do 1 through 9. So we have the number 3. 1, 2, 3 blocks. And if you notice, the number of what we're dragging over actually pops up at the bottom of the screen. So if you lose count of what you have, it'll tell you at the bottom there. And 9. So finally, we have our resources. We have the Hand to Mind website, CRA Methods website, as well as the 3 different websites we used for our activities.